Doc Martin is so popular that producers around the world are scrambling to make their own versions.
Nobody move! Mrs. Dishel, where are you? Or should I say, Ms. Smith?
There's a German version, a French version as well.
Thank you.
That remade, using the scripts, yeah. We watched the German version and they literally had done shot for shot what we had done with our first series, which was extraordinary, and that kind of worked for them. And then I've watched some of the Spanish version and it's great. And the Doc Martens, I suppose because they choose their actors who are well known to their countries, the audiences relate to them, and it doesn't really mean much to me, but it's all about the character, isn't it? And I guess if they get the right Doc Martin, it's going to work. But I think Martin gets a bit put out. I think he's the only one in the world to hide them.
I watched the German one, which was spooky because it was shot for shot our episode with our music as well, but with different words and different actors. And you know, and I don't speak German, but it was just really funny because, you know, I'd have a kind of muscle memory of myself shutting a sliding door and saying something to Pauline. And then you see a German, the schnucken the munken munken. It was just that was amusing. The Spanish one, they've overtaken us. They've made more than we have. And he looks really cool, the Spanish guy, and they have a great promo, but I've not seen an episode.
Action! Tissel. Empty. Almost too empty.
I haven't seen any of them. I really do want to see them because I think they'll be fascinating. I'm also very curious to see who plays Louisa, obviously. I'd love to see German Louisa, French Louisa. We could.
Oh, she must be somewhere else in the hotel.
Where though? There's 2 restaurants here and cellars and acres of grounds.
What I enjoy about finding in a role is when you get a script that just leaves a certain amount of space for you as a performer to bring something to it. I mean, that's to do with the script. It's also to do with the way a director likes to work and, you know, how the team operates.
When we're filming, it's such an intense experience for us all to be away on location together. We've become a kind of a microcosm of a community. We've become a huge extended family. We're all on this trip together, and I think that pleasure and joint energy is communicated to the audience.
And there's others about to kick off. I think they're going to do a Russian one. Yes. Because we like the happy doctor.
It's nice having you there, but I think you might be able to interpret this.
Somebody said to me, you will never laugh as much as you will laugh making Doc Martin, and they are absolutely right. I have never laughed as much as I have on this.
It's been fantastic to see the response that it's had globally. So now in the village, it's full when we're filming of tourists from all over the world that have come to see us make the show. Apart from obviously there's tourists coming to see the village too, but there is also a lot of tourism that is around for the programme. And it's brilliant to see meeting people from Canada, from Australia, from New Zealand, from America. It's great.
They just want to really know all about it. Where is the surgery? Where's the restaurant? Where's the chemist shop? So we're giving information all the time.
We can get 200 or 300 people watching us, and it's a tricky thing because it's not exactly exciting watching filmmaking, but they stand transfixed as we do it, and I think apart from anything else, because the village is so attractive and so lovely, and they come to their Mecca, as it were, which is, they've arrived in where Doc Martin is made. They can see the doctor's house, they can see the surgery, the pharmacy, and all the rest of it.
It is a beautiful set, this village, which I'm sure some of the locals would be quite annoyed with me for saying, because it's not their home. But there's this lovely semicircular harbour out here, and all around the outside of it there are these quaint old-fashioned buildings and narrow streets. It is the kind of thing that if you had a huge budget and you wanted to do this show, you would wish you could construct that.
There's been a lot of interest in America to make an American version. We are talking to CA and they're trying to get writers involved, but it's interesting because the Americans who've visited us down here this year in Cornwall have pretty much said to me, begged me not to let that happen. They said don't let them make it because they love the English version, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. It's notoriously hard to get an American version going, so you know, all I've said to them is we're really open to it, but it's all about who plays that part because it could completely fall apart if you get the wrong person. So.
Well, she's obviously not thinking rationally, so she could be anywhere.
No, Miss Smith was marked as joining the Edmondson party downstairs.
Well, why didn't you say so before, you imbecile? Show me.
Who knows? We could take over the world. There was a plan of us all meeting up somewhere in Cannes, I think. A whole bunch of grumpy doctors.
Where are you?
What did she say? Did she mention the baby?
She's not here. She said something about me sending a couple to her that would let her know where to go.
Couple of what?
A couple, people.
What people?
I don't know! Stop asking inane questions!
Doc,
Be quiet.
I passed a couple before, coming out of the chemist. Could only have been 15 minutes or so before Mrs. T disappeared. Woman had a red, blotchy face. It might be nothing, but...
Stop it, Rash.